sonucunda yıkılan bu sarayın günümüze ulaşmayı başaran kısımları 16. yüzyılın başlarından kalma L biçimindeki batı kısmı ve Salamis'ten getirilen 4 sütunun taşıdığı 3 kemerli giriş kısmıdır. 3 kemerli bu girişin ortadaki kemerinin üstünde 1552 yılında Kıbrıs'ta yönetici olan Yüzbaşı Giovanni Reine'nin arması bulunmaktadır. Gazi Muasa yakınlarındaki en eski yerleşim birimlerinden bir tanesi de Enkomi'dir. Yapılan çeşitli araştırmalarda Enkomi'deki ilk yerleşimin M.Ö. 2000 yıllarına ait olduğu görülse de bazı önemli kaynaklarda Enkomi'nin tarih sahnesine çıkmasının M.Ö. 18. yüzyıla rastladığı saptanmıştır. Aynı kaynaklar geç Tunç çağında kentin bakır işlemeciliğiyle öne çıktığını ve külçe bakır ihracatının yapıldığı önemli bir ticaret merkezi olduğunu göstermiştir. Enkomi'nin bir diğer adı olan Alasya'ya Mısır, Suriye ve Anadolu'da bulunan bazı tabletlerde de rastlanmaktadır. Gazi Muasa'daki bir başka antik yerleşim yeri de Salamis'tir. Yapılan araştırmalar kentte ilk paranın basılmasını ve Salamis sözcüğünün ilk kez yazıtlarda yer almasını M.Ö. 6. yüzyıla dayandırsa da Salamis kentinin geçmişinin M.Ö. 11. yüzyıla kadar uzandığı bilinmektedir. Bazı kaynaklara göre M.Ö. 1075 yılında Enkomi'de meydana gelen büyük bir depremin ardından Enkomi halkı yavaş yavaş bu bölgeye göç etmiş ve Salamis şehrini kurmuştur. Kazılarda da bu ilk yerleşmeye ait mezar ve liman izlerine rastlanması Salamis şehrinin kuruluş hikayesinin doğru olduğunu göstermektedir. Antik Salamis kentinin mezarlık alanı Salamis ormanından başlayıp Enkomi ve Yeni Boğaziçi köylerine kadar ulaşan 7 kilometrekarelik bir bölgeye yayılmıştır. Ölümden sonra ikinci bir yaşamın varlığına inanan Salamisliler, ölülerini ekonomik durumlarıyla orantılı olan çeşitli hediyelerle birlikte gömmüşlerdir. Yapılan arkeolojik kazılarda ortaya çıkarılan mezarlarda bulunan kıymetli eşyalar, söz konusu mezarların krallara ya da varlıklı kişilere ait olduğunun düşünülmesine neden olmuştur. Bu nedenle bu mezarlara kral mezarları adı verilmiştir. Kral mezarlarının ortaya çıkarıldığı nekropoliste ele geçen değerli ölü armağanları aynı zamanda bizlere Salamis'in bu dönemde ne kadar zengin olduğu hakkında ipucu vermektedir. Fakat milattan sonra 1. ve 4. yüzyıllarda meydana gelen şiddetli depremler şehrin en büyük düşmanları haline gelmiştir. Bizans İmparatoru Konstantius depremlerden sonra yıkılan kenti yeniden inşa ederek adına Konstantia adını verse de bu çalışmalar limanın giderek dolmasının ve Arap korsanlarının akınlarının önüne geçememiştir. 648 yılındaki büyük korsan akınının ardından kentin son sakinleri de daha sonra Famagusta kentini oluşturacak Arsinoye'ye göç etmiştir. Böylece Salamis tarihin unutulmuş sayfaları arasındaki yerini almıştır. St. Barnabas Kilisesi ve manastırı Salamis nekropolünün batı ucunda yer almaktadır. Manastırın ismi Salamis'te bir Yahudi ailenin oğlu olarak doğan ve milattan sonra 45 yılında St. Paul'la birlikte Hristiyanlığı yaymak için çalışmalara başlayan St. Barnabas'tan gelmektedir. Rivayete göre St. Barnabas, Hristiyanlığı yayma çalışmaları yaptığı için kendi vatandaşları olan Yahudiler tarafından öldürülür ve cesedi daha sonra denize atılmak için bataklığa saklanır. St. Barnabas'ın öğrencilerinden bazıları bu olayı görür ve cesedi bataklıktan alarak Salamis'in batısında bulunan bir harup ağacının altındaki yeraltı mağarasına gömer. Bu olaydan 432 yıl sonra Piskopos Antonius rüyasında St. Barnabas'ın gömülü olduğu yeri görür ve mezarın açılmasını emreder. Mezar açılınca cesedin St. Barnabas'a ait olduğu anlaşılır ve mezarın bulunduğu yere bir manastır yapılır. Manastıra bugünkü şekli ise 1756 yılında Başpiskopos Piloteos tarafından verilmiştir. St. Barnabas Manastırı geçirdiği restorasyonun ardından kapsamlı bir ikon müzesine dönüştürülmüştür. Karpaz ile kucaklaştıkça altın kumsalın zerrecikleri uçuşur mavi bulutlarda. Kilometrelerce uzanan altın kumsal sadece bu ada coğrafyasının değil, tüm Akdeniz'in tek taş pırlanta yüzüğü gibidir. İlk günkü bakirliğinde bir doğa karşılar bizleri. Her dem taze, her dem sıcak. Akdeniz'in en mavi denizi bir anne ninnisi söyler gibidir. Sessizce ve usulca davet eder bizleri. Doğanın altın sarısını geride bırakırken tarihin bir başka tanığı olan Karpaz eşekleriyle tanışırsınız. Karpaz Yarımadası yüzyıllardan beri Kıbrıs'ta bulunan ve ünü dünyaya yayılmış Karpaz eşeklerinin ana yurdudur. Aynı zamanda Kuzey Kıbrıs Türk Cumhuriyeti'nin uluslararası alanda kullandığı simge olan karetta kaplumbağalarının doğal yaşam alanlarına da ev sahipliği yapan Karpaz, upuzun kumsallarıyla cennetten bir parçayı andırmaktadır. Karpaz Yarımadası'nın eskilerin deyimiyle Kıbrıs'ta güneşi karşılayan yer olan uç kısmında, yani eski adıyla Dinoetum, yeni adıyla da Zaferburnu'nda bulunan manastır, mucizeler yaratan, rüzgarların hakimi ve yolcuların koruyucusu olarak anılan Apostolos Andreas'a adanmıştır. Efsaneye göre Apostolos Andreas, Kudüs'te yaptığı bir yolculuk sırasında gemide su kalmadığından dolayı su bulmak için Kıbrıs'a çıkar. Kıbrıs'a çıktığında elindeki asayla kayaya vuran ve orada bir su kaynağının oluşmasını sağlayan Andreas, bu sudan içtikten sonra kör olan bir gözünün tekrar görmeye başladığını fark eder. Kıbrıs'ın en uç noktasında bulunan Apostolos Andreas Manastırı, bugünkü görünümüne 1827-1909 yılları arasında toplanan bağışlarla Papa Ioannis Oikonomos tarafından kavuşturulmuştur. Manastırın en eski yapısının doğu kısmında yer alan adak yeri olduğu tahmin edilmektedir. Kuzey Kıbrıs. Tarihin dans ettiği bu coğrafyada 10.000 yıldır şarkılar söyleniyor. Afrodit'le dalgalar üzerinde, Otello ile kalelerin dehlizlerinde, Kleopatra ile yılanların eşliğinde. Sizleri de tarihin bu büyülü dansına eşlik etmeye davet ediyoruz.
An island with unique beauties in a unique location in the east of the Mediterranean and the middle of Asia and Africa. An unprecedented island where Aphrodite was born and raised, where Mark Antony gave gifts to Cleopatra to tell his love for her, a place which has been the indispensable passion of many emperors throughout the history, and where history is springing out from every corner. Aside from these characteristics, North Cyprus is taking firm steps to become one of the most important education with its splendid tourism facilities and top-level universities. Limnini is considered to be the earliest settlement in North Cyprus. Lefka region has an authentic beauties like date palms, oranges and houses built in Ottoman style. A small town facing the Güzelyurt Bay, Lefke has been a settlement for Turks since the Ottoman period. Making great contributions to the economy of North Cyprus with its orange gardens and university, Lefke blends traditional Cypriot and Ottoman architecture very beautifully with its garden houses that have been built to suit the town's topography, as well as with its narrow and organic streets. The architecture of the town, which shows spatial characteristics of the traditional island life, widely bear the medieval Ottoman character. In addition to the several architectural works, Piri Osman Pasha Mosque, that was built according to the local architectural characteristics of Cyprus during the Ottoman period, is situated within the boundaries of Lefke. The ruins of the ancient city of Soli are located near Limnidi in Lefke, with remnants of the Neolithic age. Here the first melodies of dance with history are heard. Archaeological investigation revealed findings dating back to 700 BC in the ruins of Soli. As revealed by the investigations, it is understood that the city managed to preserve its important position due to the harbour and the copper mines nearby. It is told that the kingdom of Soli, acting with other kingdoms in the island, rose against the Persians who ruled Cyprus in 498 BC. After this event, Doxandros of Marion, the king of Soli, who was an ally of the Persians, built a Vuni palace near the ruins of Soli in order to have better control of the city. Like many other kingdoms in the island, Soli became maroon after the Arab raids in the 7th century. The Vuni Palace, which was built to control the city of Soli, has 137 rooms. The palace survived for 70 years after it lost its importance when Persian rule was replaced by Greek rule in 449 BC, and was burned in 380 BC by the people of Soli, and never restored then. Güzelyurt is a place of settlement widely known with its citrus fruit. It is virtually a paradise at the end of the country, with the fertility of its soil and the beauty of its people. St. Mamas Monastery is a structure dating to the 18th century. The beautiful melodies of the past are heard in every square metre of the monastery. The side portals and columns survived from a Gothic church built by the Lusinians. The Gothic church was built on the remains of a Byzantine church. Painted upper section, which is made of wood, is among the unprecedented examples of the 16th century engraving art. According to the legend, Saint Mamas, after whom the monastery was named, was a saint who lived in the 12th century. When Mamas, who refused to pay tax, was captured and brought to the town by Byzantine soldiers to be punished, they saw a lion that was about to eat a lamb. Mamas saved the lamb from the lion, and when he entered the town with the lion on his back, he succeeded to impress the Byzantines, and was exempt from tax lifelong. After that event, the church in Güzelyurt was dedicated to Mamas, who became the saint of those who avoided tax. The building, which stands next to St. Mamas Monastery and was used as the Metropolitan Building before 1974, serves as a nature and archaeology museum since 1979. In the museum, which is comprised of nature and archaeology sections, the ground floor displays stuffed animals collection, including birds, fish, snakes, foxes, lambs, and tortoises. In the archaeological section of the museum, the most important work is the Ephesus Artemis statue, which was found by chance in the offshore of Salamis, and an invaluable golden crown unearthed recently. In the north of that island is a town leaning its back to the Besh-Parmak Mountains, which has enchanted its visitors for centuries, hosting the most beautiful beaches of the Mediterranean. One of the most important tourism centres of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, Girne is still an indispensable stop for the visitors of the island with its historical riches and unmatched tourism facilities. Huge flags placed on the skirts of Besh-Parmak Mountains, which Girne leans its back and which protect North Cyprus like a shield, cry out the honourable struggle of the Turkish Cypriots to the whole world. The people of the island built several castles on Besh-Parmak Mountains to protect themselves hundreds of years ago. St. Hilarion Castle is one of the 3 castles established on Besh-Parmak Mountains to defend the island against Arab raids. One can sense the ever-fresh smell of history and the solemn and proud stance of St. Hilarion. The first section of the castle is estimated to be built in the 7th century, and until the time it was captured by Venetians at the end of the 12th century, the castle was a place of shelter for Lusinian noblemen to escape the heat of summer. The castle was used until the 16th century, but became obsolete like other castles far from the sea, such as Cantara and Buffavento, after firearms were invented and shore defense became much important. Disney, who visited Cyprus in the 1920s and saw St. Hilarion Castle, was so impressed by the castle that he used castles resembling St. Hilarion in the screen credits of his films, reflecting this admiration. One of the castles that was built to control the passes through Girne Mountains is Kantara Castle. Built on a 700-metre high rocky site with control on the surrounding plains, the castle thus resembles an eagle's nest. Kantara Castle is estimated to have been built for observation purposes in the 10th century and is first named in historical resources in 1191. The castle was used until 1525 but became obsolete after firearms were invented and shore defence became much important and was left to its fate like other castles far from the sea such as St. Hilarion and Buffavento. Buffavento Castle is one of the 3 castles built on Girne Mountains at a height of 950 metres. Meaning the fear of the winds, Buffavento is part of the defensive chain against the Arab raids together with the castles of St. Hilarion and Kantara. The castle, which was also used as a prison during the Lusinian period between 1192 and 1498, is referred to as Château du Lion in some sources. We continue our trip to Veszprém Mountains with another important building. Built on a rocky place on the skirts of the mountains, the name of Balapace Abbey was derived from Abbé de la Paix, which today means the Abbey of Peace in French. The abbey, which is shown as a great work of the Gothic art and its best example in the Near East, was originally built between 1198 and 1205. A great part of the building, which survived today, was built by the French king Hugh III between 1267 and 1284. Balapace Abbey was given to the Greek Orthodox Church after the conquest of Cyprus by the Ottomans. After our trip in Veszprém Mountains, we descend down to the sea and face an ancient city. One of the 10 kingdoms in the island, Lambusa is located on a peninsula in the west of Girne near Alsancak. Although the town is known to have been established after 2000 BC as a colony of Laconia situated in the south of Greece, the excavations revealed remains dating back to 3000 BC. The fact that the king of Lambusa supported Alexander the Great, who besieged Tyre in 333 BC with 200 vessels, indicates that Lambusa was one of the powerful kingdoms of the age. However, like many towns in the island, Lambusa was left to its fate as a result of the increasing Arab raids. Remains of the town which are worth to see today include fish pools, rock tombs and city walls, only a small part of which has survived today. Fish pools, which were built by carving sandstone rocks on the seashore, are the first known examples of their kind. We encounter another important place when we head for Girne. This is the place where the Turkish soldier first landed during the 1974 peace campaign, to which the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus owes its existence, and is today converted into a museum, which is very important and meaningful. The building in which Colonel Ibrahim Karaoğlanoğlu and 2 privates became martyrs on July 20, 1974, today hosts visitors as a museum of peace and freedom. The building, which is used as a museum, displays photographs and memories of the martyrs and various weapons captured from the Greeks. The destruction which the building suffered at the time of war is untouched, and in the garden, armoured vehicles and heavy weapons are exhibited. When we approach the centre of the city, we see one of the most impressive and powerful castles on the coast of the Mediterranean that has survived from the medieval age, Kariņa Castle. Thought to have been built to protect the city against Arab raids in the 7th century, the castle is encircled by a ditch. The castle includes the Byzantine church, St. George Church, which is thought to have been built in the 1100s. The tomb of the Algerian Ottoman Admiral Sadiq Pasha, who became a martyr during the conquest of Cyprus by the Ottomans in 1570, is also located in Kariņa Castle. Another important structure in the Kariņa Castle is a shipwreck museum. The museum displays the oldest ship among the wrecks of its type ever found. Although the exact date is unknown, the ship is thought to belong to the era of Hellenistic kingdoms which were established in the Mediterranean after the death of Alexander. The ship, which is thought to have made trades at the coast of the Mediterranean and the Aegean Sea before she headed for the island, possibly took about 400 amphoria from Rhodos. The ancient harbour that hosts the Kyrenia castle is the magnificent necklace of Girne. The history says it even made Aphrodite jealous with its captivating beauty. We leave Girne and advance to the east. Near Esentepe town in the east of Girne, there is the Amphithronitis church built on the remains of an old monastery at a point close to the summit of the Besh Parmak mountains. The church, named after Antiphonitis, meaning the answering Jesus, has an architectural shape which is not much seen in Cyprus, with an irregular octagonal form supported by 8 columns. The portico arrangement, in which the south of the church is an unpresent example of Gothic stone workmanship. Once completely covered with wall paintings except the narthex, the church could preserve only a few of the paintings today. The wall paintings mostly depicted saints and compositions from the Bible. A city in just the middle of the island, which is named as Nicosia by the foreigners and Lefkoşa by the Turks, living in the past on the one hand and looking ahead with hope on the other hand. Lefkoşa, which according to a legend was named in both Turkish and foreign languages after the commander of the city, Nikos or Lefkos, is the capital and the biggest city of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. After news was spread that the Ottoman Empire would launch a campaign to Cyprus, Venetians started to build new fortifications in place of Lusinian fortifications in order to defend the city better. Lefkoşa city walls, the plans of which were drawn by the famous Venetian engineer Giulio Savignano, there are 11 bastions, each like a castle. Three gates were opened in the city walls to connect Lefkoşa to the outer world. These gates are Kyrenia Gate, known as Porta del Provveditore, Famagusta Gate, known as Porta Giuliana, and Paphos Gate, known as Porta Domenico. Kyrenia Gate, also known as Provveditore Gate due to Provveditore Francesco Barbaro, the Venetian architect, is listed among the most important historical works of Lefkoşa. Ottomans added a domed chamber to Kyrenia Gate, which was detached from the walls in the British period and took its present appearance. Passing through Kyrenia Gate, as we walk towards Sarayonu, we see Mevlevi Tekkesi on the left-hand side. Mevlevi Tekkesi was converted to a museum to transmit the Turkish artworks in Cyprus to the future after restoration works carried out in 1962. Ottoman gravestones brought from the Kyrenia Gate graveyard are exhibited in the garden of the museum. Royal decrees of the Ottoman period, dresses and musical instruments of the Dervish order, handwritten Qurans, and items which reflect the life of the Turkish Cypriots in the recent past comprise the most interesting pieces of the museum. In the narrow streets of the old city, we walk among the Lusinians who waltz with Venetians, and we are welcomed by the Ottoman hospitality. Samanbahçe houses sing together, accompanied by the magnificent ringing of the Ottoman bells. Situated in the area between Kyrenia Gate and Sarayonu Square, Samanbahçe houses were constructed as the first social housing complex of Cyprus between 1918 and 1927. Samanbahçe houses, comprised of adjacent houses, narrow streets and small squares, reached 68 in number with additions in 1955. The houses were restored to their original appearance after successful restoration works done recently. Close to Samanbahçe houses, we find a big square. Atatürk Square, with the Venetian column in the centre, was called Konak Square or Sarayonu Square before 1943. The Venetian column, the most important structure of the square and carrying symbols of the Venetian dynasty, was erected by the Venetians in 1550 and is among the symbols of Lefkosia. The post office, the courthouse and the police station situated in the square and built by the British administration in 1901 add to the importance of the square. Another important work which is situated in the square is a platform carrying the British emblem. This platform was built due to Queen Elizabeth's succession to the throne of the United Kingdom in 1953. After leaving Atatürk Square behind, we see a very old district consisting of old buildings and narrow streets. Arabahmet district is one of the most special places which preserves the historical texture of old Lefkosia and combines the past and the present in the city. Arabahmet district, established around a road which was called Baf Street in the Ottoman rule, Victoria Street in the British rule, and Şehit Salahi Şevket Street at the present, does not only host the most important architectural works of the city, but also has a rooted historical inheritance dating back to the Lyzunian period. The most prominent one among the mosques built by Turks in Lefkosia is Arabahmet Mosque, which was built in place of an old Latin church in 1845, like many other mosques. Representing a beautiful example of the classic Turkish mosque architecture, Arabahmet Mosque was named after Arabahmet Pasha, a Turkish general who participated in the conquest of Cyprus. The publisher of Zaman, the first newspaper printed in Turkish in Cyprus, Dervish Pasha built a mansion in the 19th century, which is one of the most beautiful examples of the traditional Turkish architecture. This exclusive mansion is also located in Arabahmet district, which combines the past and the present within the city walls of Lefkosia. One of the buildings in Arabahmet district which managed to survive from the Lyzunian period is the Ottoman Lyzunian house built in the 15th century. The mansion, which is located in Surlariçi, a region which stands out within the historical texture of Lefkosia, represents a very good synthesis of two different architectures, with the Lyzunian-style Gothic arched entrance gate and the Ottoman-style wooden ceiling decorations. The most important example of Turkish baths in Lefkosia, representing the most significant elements of Ottoman urban architecture, is doubtlessly Büyük Hamam. The bath was constructed on an ancient Lyzunian structure as evidenced by the decorated Gothic-style arched star gate and the stone walls. Serving the people of Lefkosia uninterruptedly since 1590, Büyük Hamam reacquired the magnificence of the past owing to the restoration works done recently. The most important example of inns in Lefkosia, which constitute the most important elements of the Ottoman social life and were built to provide a safe lodging for travellers, is Büyük Han, built in 1572. Büyük Han, built by Muzaffer Pasha, the first Ottoman governor of Cyprus, is a two-story building constructed on a rectangular plan. After the recent successful restoration, Büyük Han was inaugurated as a social centre to convey the Turkish Cypriot culture to the future. Today, a cultural centre where the most tasty examples of Turkish Cypriot cuisine can be tried and the most important works of the Turkish Cypriot handicraft can be seen, Büyük Han waits for its domestic and foreign guests to introduce the Turkish culture in the island. Another major work in Lefkosia, Kumarcılar Hanı, is an Ottoman building constructed in late 17th century. As the decorated Gothic arches in the entrance gate and other arches in the structure do not exhibit the signs of traditional Ottoman architecture, Kumarcılar Hanı was possibly built on an old monastery. Having a rectangular form just like Büyük Han, Kumarcılar Hanı preserves today only 44 of its 52 rooms. When we leave behind Kumarcılar Hanı and Büyük Han behind and advance through the narrow streets, we see a quite big cathedral. The biggest and the most spectacular temple in Cyprus, St. Sophia Cathedral, is agreed to be the most important example of Gothic architecture in Cyprus. Said to have been built on a Byzantine church named Hagia Sophia, The cathedral used to host the coronation ceremonies of the Lusinian kings, as well as it was the most important church of Cyprus. The incomplete bell towers on both sides of the entrance of the cathedral were converted to minarets by the Ottomans after the conquest. St. Sophia Cathedral is today called Selimiye Mosque. Right next to Selimiye Mosque there is another structure which is at least as magnificent as Selimiye Mosque. The structure, built as a Byzantine church in the 12th century, was called St. Nicholas Church those times. Bedestan today bears different architectural styles due to Gothic additions by Lusinians and amendments by Venetians. The building is today called Bedestan because it was used as a bazaar while textile products were sold in the Ottoman period. The library, which was built behind Selimiye Mosque by Sultan Mahmud II in 1829, is comprised of a big domed chamber and a domed shelter. Just like Arab Ahmed Mosque, it is a classic example of the Ottoman mosque and madrasa architecture. Among more than 1,700 books available in Sultan Mahmud Library, there are numerous valuable works including a handwritten Quran. The building located east of Selimiye Mosque, thought to have been built in the 15th century and carrying significant features of Venetian architecture, today serves as a stoneworks museum. Although the purpose of use in the Venetian period is not known, this Venetian building is today an important museum where archaeological discoveries brought from various places of Cyprus are displayed. Close to the Stoneworks Museum, we see a quite impressive house. The eaved house, which was possibly built on remains of a medieval structure, represents a good example of the Ottoman house architecture. This house is called the eaved house due to the wide eaves that support the mansion room, which protrudes towards the road. Today, used as a culture and arts centre, the building hosts events like exhibitions, conferences and symposiums. Gazimausa, or Famagusta, the second city of North Cyprus after Lefkosia, occupies an important place with social, cultural and economic events. Gazimausa has quite a deep-rooted past and is like a pearl that shines with the sunrise in the east of the island, hosting the only deep-water harbour in the island, the Eastern Mediterranean University and the International Culture and Arts Festival. Feeling inside the fact that Mausa witnessed the prehistorical times, we advance to the modern Gazimausa today. The city of Gazimausa was encircled with Lusinian walls until 1489. These walls were quite high, but were very thin. As the Venetians knew very well that they could not defend the city against the Ottomans with such walls, they carried out activities to reinforce the walls against fired weapons. The walls on the seaside, Martinengo Bastion and the land gate were built during the said activities. As a result of the efforts to reinforce the walls of Mausa reached a length of 3 kilometers, a height of 18 meters and a width of 9 meters. Venetians opened a 46-meter wide ditch in front of the walls and filled it with water. However, when Ottomans besieged the city, all those efforts of the Venetians did not yield any results, and Mausa surrendered to Ottomans on August 6, 1571. Jambulat Bey, flag officer of Kibris, who was given important duties during the conquest of Lefkosia, was also given a duty in the besiegement of Gazimausa and was killed at the place called Arsenal Bastion. A tomb was built for Jambulat Bey beneath the Arsenal Bastion where he was killed. Since that date, the bastion, which is called Jambulat Tomb, was reconstructed in 1968 and converted into a museum where ethnographic and archaeological works are exhibited. The land gate is one of the 2 original gates which provides entrance to the city of Mausa, which is encircled with walls. The land gate, originally called as Ravelin, meaning bastion, in a semilunar shape, is the oldest structure of the walls after Othello Castle. On that side of the land gauge which faces the city, there is a structure made of cut stone between the old and the new fortification walls. The structure is Akkule Mescidi, built by the Ottomans between 1618 and 1619, using the fortification walls left by the Venetians. In front of the northeast wall of the small mosque there is an Ottoman fountain made of cut stone. Fairies singing the sonnets of Shakespeare fly above the walls of Othello. The Othello Castle